going to start some introductions for this evening. I want to say thank you so much for so many people coming out tonight to support the wonderful foundation of Dolly Parton to give books to kids. And to start the evening, I'm going to introduce the wonderful Hilary Hauck, an Italian-speaking Brit living in the U.S. Author Hilary Hauck writes historical and fantasy fiction. Her novels have won the Historical Fiction Company's Award of Excellence, been a finalist for the Eric Hoffer Award, and received a nomination for the Wakona Book of the Year Award. As a young adult, Hilary moved from her native UK to Italy, where she mastered the language, learned how to cook food she can no longer eat, and won a national karate competition. She now lives on a small patch of woods in rural Pennsylvania with her husband and a cat with a penchant for laundry. She is past president of Pen Writers and the current chair of the Festival of Books in the Alleghenies. She was instrumental and tireless in making this year's Festival of Books a success. Please welcome Hilary Hauck.
Thank you so much, Terry. I really appreciate that. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. So 8 years ago, a fellow writer, Ron Johnson, who is in the building, asked if we'd ever thought of organizing a book festival. A few weeks later, two of us began planting the seeds for the Festival of Books in the Alleghenies. A month later, 7 volunteers had answered the call to organize the first festival. 6 years ago, the first Festival of Books in the Alleghenies was held in Bedford. In the past 6 years, we have held 4 in-person events and 1 virtual, thank you 2020. We have raised and donated $9,000 to literacy causes. We have featured nearly 300 regional and local authors. And about 6 months ago, 11 amazing people volunteered to put on the 5th Festival of Books in the Alleghenies. In about a minute, 100 people in this building are going to celebrate these 11 people with a resounding round of applause. But some of you have drinks or food, so you may do a resounding click, click, click. To celebrate their incredible hard work, dedication, and literary citizenship. Those incredible, talented, generous, wonderful, and dedicated people are Kimberly McElhatton, all of them, I don't know. They all deserve a round of applause. Danae Cars, Terri Kirby, Jess Sims, Samantha Norman, Paul Ritchie, Shirley Stubbe, Misty Smith, Deborah Sanchez, and Michelle Novak. In approximately 15 hours, the 5th Festival of Books in the Alleghenies will begin. In 5 seconds, those 100 people people are going to give another applause because tomorrow the 5th Festival of Books in the Alleghenies will begin. People will also have the chance to meet one of Cambria County's most beloved authors, local authors, not local anymore, but forever, this is a home. And you will be inspired by that same author in about 60 minutes. Tomorrow, readers and writers will come from far and wide. A 4-year-old girl called Katie will come. She's not coming for the books. She's coming for Smokey Bear, for the toads, for the balloons, the crafts. She's not a fan of books. The few times someone has tried to teach her how to read letters, they've squiggled on the page. But in 17 hours, she will hear a festival author read her story, and she will be won over. She will sign up for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library at the festival, even though, because of her age, she'll only receive 1 book. In 3 weeks, that book will be delivered to her, and it becomes her favorite story of all time. It unlocks her passion for books. In a year, she is delighted to begin school. She's even eager to work extra hard because she's diagnosed with having dyslexia. In 4 years, she is in the top 10% of her class. In 14 years, she graduates high school and goes to college. In 20 years, she begins her career as a special ed teacher. She goes on to help other children with learning difficulties. One of her students, who could barely read in the 3rd grade, goes on to become a renowned neuroscientist, conducting groundbreaking research on learning disorders. Another one of her students, who's also had an interest in design but felt held back by his reading challenges, becomes an architect. He designs schools that prioritize accessibility and inclusivity, ensuring that no child feels out of place in their learning environment. Another grows up to be a celebrated children's author. She writes stories for kids who, like her, feel different, crafting characters who struggle, who persevere, who find their way. Her books reach thousands of children, offering them hope, understanding, and belonging. Of course, we don't know the future. I didn't bring my crystal ball. We don't know the impact we will have, but what we do know that 100 people in this building are gonna dig deep in their pockets tonight for the silent auction, for the 50-50, and for the tip jar over there. Yep. Which is not actually for Kimberly and Olivia. It is all going directly to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And in the next few hours, these 100 people are going to bring the total of money we have raised up to $6,000, which will sponsor 125 children for 5 years. And in the coming decades, the impact of that will be immeasurable. In the next 10 minutes, people will hear from Katie and Matt from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And in the next few hours, people will eat and drink, a bit on the silent auction. I might repeat that a few times. And they'll mingle and they'll have a great time. And in 50 minutes, we will give the signal to start going upstairs to courtroom 1, to the highlight of that evening, to hear Jennifer Haig. And I will let you know there are stairs, plenty of stairs. There's also an elevator around the corner, but there's only one. So please start to make your way up in good time. Okay, and I think that's all I have. So please welcome Matt Deal from Somerset, from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Thank you so much.
And I want to thank all of you for this real honor to be here, and thank you for your generosity and your vision of what literacy means for our society, and especially for our children. I'll give you a real quick overview of the Imagination Library. So we have representatives here from Somerset County, that's me. We have Katie from Bedford County, and we also have St. Francis from Cambria County. Yay! Yes. And we're just so happy to be here. From birth to the age of 5, and the idea is you get them to go off at that point to school where they have advantages of school libraries. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, but you know the importance of literacy at a very young age. It's the difference between a child literally succeeding, graduating from school. Harvard University study spoke to that effect a number of years ago. If a child has at least 25 books of their own in their home, in those first years, they will finish 2 additional years of school. So you know what that means. That's the difference between graduating, dropping out, going to further education and trade schools. It's so important, and you're helping to make that happen. I have a couple examples of the books. This is for an infant. It's a board book of shapes, black and white because they don't see color so well. And these are an example of books. This is actually the first book that young lady that Hilary was speaking of would get. This is The Little Engine That Could. This is Dolly's favorite book, a favorite of her family. And this is a book that a child of about 4 years of age, 3 or 4 years of age, I'm a Rainbow, authored by Dolly herself, helps a child talk about how to deal with their emotions. $2.20 a book is what we are charged with raising to make this possible in our Tri-County area. $2.20. It handles shipping. Dolly does the rest, okay? But you scale that up to about 1,700 kids in Somerset County. Our monthly book figure bill right now is about $3,700, and it's going up. So I want to thank you for your generosity. I know Cambria County has about twice that many kids, and Katie will speak about Bedford County. I want to close with just a very brief story for you. Yesterday, I had the privilege of meeting one of our families in Somerset County that receives these books, a 3-year-old little girl. I corresponded with the mother on email. She wondered if there was any program Dolly Parton had for her 6-year-old son. 7-year-old son. I said, I'm sorry, there's not. You know, kids get into school. And he says, well, my son is autistic. And Sissy gets the books, he gets excited, and he wants to get books too. And about a year ago, the church that administers the program for Somerset County, I'm the pastor of St. Paul's United Church of Christ in Somerset, we got a grant through our conference to put books out in the community, and we did that with Shop with a Cop, is something that Somerset County does, taking children out to shop with policemen whose families has had experience with the law that might not be positive. A wonderful program Community Foundation for Alleghenies runs, and we got books to give to the kids that are shopping with the cop. Well, I had some leftover books. I pulled those books together, and I got to deliver books to that 6-year-old or 7-year-old autistic young man. And you should have just seen his face light up. It was really something. And the family lives outside of Hooversville, and you can tell that they're not as privileged as my kids are with resources to have books in their home. So we were able to give that young man a year's worth of Dolly Parton Imagination Library books at his level, and his mother just emailed me this morning and said he tore into those books, he's looking at them, and they're his own books. And the books, when they go to the kid's house, it's addressed to the child. So there's a table over there with sign-up information. You will see a sheet of paper that's branded for Somerset County. It has my church's name on it. Don't let that deter you, though. There's the website on the bottom for imaginationlibrary.com. There's a QR code. If you have a child, I was talking to one lady, has a grandchild in Baltimore County, Maryland. I said, scan the QR code, check that out, because it'll take you right there and you put in the zip code and it'll tell you if it's available in that county or that area. So thank you very much. I'm so appreciative of your generosity.
Please welcome Katie King from Bedford.
Good evening. I'm Katie Fink. I work for United Way Bedford County, and we administer the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library for Bedford County. Matt did a great job hitting on the basics of the program, so I will just share with you tonight, due to your generosity, We are able to serve 1,000 children for Bedford County every year with our Dolly Parton program, and we are just beyond grateful. These are families that don't qualify for anything, and they're just shocked that we don't put any qualifications on the program other than you have to live in our county. You know, we do need that. And one of the things that we do is any books that are returned or any surplus that we have that comes into our office, we donate those books to our local county jail so that the prisoners can read to children that they've left behind at home. And it kind of keeps that relationship between the parent and child while the incarceration is going on, because sometimes we forget they have families too. So it kind of keeps that going. We've got some wonderful letters from children about thrilled to death that they've got to hear a recording of their dad reading a book to them while they could look at the book at home with mom. So thank you very much for your generosity, and spend tonight. We appreciate it.
All right, so now your job is to enjoy the music, enjoy the food, the libations, and mingle. There are plenty of authors here, so we will share a love of literacy and reading. Enjoy your evening.
Hello, we're out here in the rotunda. There's County Commissioner Chom Chernisky. Gonna have some music. Here's my, sorry, I'm speaking to the camera.
Oh, sorry.
This is my friend Nick Brasini,
How do you do, sir?
Northern Appalachia's Poet Laureate.
Nice to be here.
Yep. Huh?
Hopefully I get to read 4 poems. I picked out 4 poems that read.
4 phones?
Poems.
Poems?
Poems.
Poems. Yeah, you'll get to read them tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
No problem.
Yep.
Keep doing your work. Hey,
Yep.
if you don't see me here, I'm going to...
To get the elevator. Yeah, you probably might want to make it to the elevator.
Right, make it to the elevator.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so here's all the crowd. Hello, this is the room where Jennifer Haig's going to be speaking tonight. Yes, this is courtroom number 1. Very nice dome here. Nice balcony, nice room for everybody. She'll be here in a few minutes.